Our group is meeting tomorrow in the library conference room.
Undergraduates may pursue specific interests within certificate programs.
Our professor is hosting the Business Development Conference.
Classical mechanics is sometimes considered a branch of applied mathematics.
City living in the 21st century.
It takes a long time to walk to the university.
The ways in which people communicate are constantly changing.
Physics is a key subject for understanding the world and the universe. This morning's lecture on economic policy has been cancelled.
The artist's ties to conservative politicians earned their wrath of critics.
Many children start producing words before they are able to walk.
Assignments should be submitted to the department office before the deadline.
Air pollution is a serious problem all over the world.
Native speakers are exempt from language tests in their own language.
Please return library books to their correct positions on the shelves.
The toughest part of postgraduate education is the funding. You can contact all your tutors by email.
Teaching assistants will receive a monthly stipend for housing.
The railways made long-distance travel possible for everyone.
The famed instrumental work exhibited a more demure compositional style.
Sugar is a soluble carbohydrate that is used to sweeten food.
This is an integrated course with several main elements.
A celebrated theory is still a source of great controversy.
All new medical students must attend the talk about optional courses.
The university provides excellent leisure facilities for students and staff. A good research assistant is not afraid to ask questions. A party was thrown in the small meeting room.
A surprisingly large number of students applied for that course.
A typical task of this course involves a study of society. A very basic definition of computing is counting and calculating.
Academic journals are usually edited by subject specialists.
Academic libraries across the world are steadily incorporating social media.
The university will celebrate Earth Day by planting.
Don't forget to hand in your assignments by the end.
All medical students must clean their hands before entering the room.
All of your assignments should be submitted by next Tuesday.
All students have their own style of learning.
An essay should use evidence from both primary and secondary sources.
Archaeologists discovered tools and artifacts in ancient tombs.
Art is an expression of creative skills and imagination.
Banks charge interest for money they loan to their customers.
I think that you raised the issue, and to talk about it is.
Career mobility is very important for new graduates.
Please sort and order the slides for the presentation.
Changing your interest is a natural part of the learning process.
City planners recognize the need for accessible public transport options.
Courses are assessed by group work and individual assignments.
Distance learning allows you to develop a career around your commitments.
Economic development needs to be supported by the government.
Even simple techniques need to be practiced to become better.
Every living thing begins as a single cell.
Food has become a political issue in the world.
Food that contains antibiotics provides little or no nutritional value.
Global connections increased in academic communities, thanks to social media.
Good nutrition is crucial to general health and vitality.
Graphs and charts allow data to be more easily understood.
Implementation figures are expected to improve in the next few years.
Imported packages are likely to be used in many computers.
Information technology has changed the way we live today.
International exchanges form the important part of our study program.
Every student has both the right and the ability to succeed.
It is clear that the human population impacts the environment.
Key business partners are often intertwined in expense accounts.
Lecture outlines are available on the college's internal website.
Libraries in many areas were closed due to the lack of funding.
Make sure you choose a course that provides you with good career opportunities.
Make sure you've saved all the files before turning off the computer.
Making a mistake is fine, as long as you learn from it. Many universities are continuously expanding the postgraduate education online learning resources.
Many universities provide exchange programs to other countries.
Medical researchers have focused on different causes of diseases and treatments. Muscle cells bring parts of the body closer together.
New development in technology contributes to current research.
The problem with this is that it fails to answer the basic question.
Our aim is to transmit mathematics teaching in the classroom.
Meetings with mentors can be scheduled for students who require additional.
Our company must have independent financial auditing.
Our laboratory equipment is provided free of charge.
Our workshops are opening for all students on campus.
Parents are financially responsible for their children up until they reach adulthood.
Peer review is a central part of scientific methods.
Most teaching staff make their lecture notes available online.
Building trust is something that cannot be achieved overnight.
Please follow the guidelines for more information on setting the goals.
Population geography includes the study of demography.
Protective clothing must always be worn all the time.
Purity is one feature that makes gold expensive.
Rail transport is becoming more and more popular.
Reading histories involves a level of careful selections.
Rising inflation means an increase in goods prices and a decrease in demand for consumer products. Once more under the pressure of economic necessity, practice our
Slides and handouts can be downloaded after lectures.
Social media is criticized for causing internet addiction.
Social policies describe the ways societies meet human needs.
Sociology policies are the sources of government to solve social problems.
Some vocational courses of institution are funded by private enterprises. Sound waves are unable to travel through vacuum.
The student shop has a range of stationery.
Studying history can help you better understand the present.
Studying medicine is always with a wide range of opportunities.
Technology is no longer a simple tool that we can control.
The amount of time spent on configuration varies considerably.
The archaeologists' new discoveries stand out in previously overlooked foundations.
Most known oil reserves only last for half a century.
The closing date for applications for travel scholarships is next Monday.
The coffee machine on the third floor is not working today.
The course covers architecture planning and construction on the international scale.
The course tomorrow will require higher skill levels.
The deadline for this assignment is tomorrow.
The degree is taught by using a mixture of lectures and seminars.
The extent of advertising on children is very much open to debate.
The food crops require a large amount of water and fertilizer.
The history department is very active in research.
The history lecture has been moved to the lecture theatre.
The history of this university is a long and interesting one.
The lecture tomorrow will discuss educational policies in the United States.
The library will be closed for staff training tomorrow morning.
The massive accumulation of data was converted into a communicable argument.
The museum is closed on Thursday mornings every month.
The new media has transformed the traditional, national boundaries.
The night sky has always involved mystery and wonder.
The opening hours of the library are reduced during summer.
The plight of wildlife has been ignored by many developers.
The professor took a year off to work on her book. The program must be conducted abiding by general regulations.
The public is often misled by the biased coverage.
The reception staff provide advice on private accommodation.
The research shows that spending time outdoors has a range of benefits.
The researchers are disappointed that their materials are proven to be inconclusive.
The results of the study underscored the discoveries from early detection.
The scholarship is available for both local and international students.
The site is designed to be highly interactive.
The student magazine is looking for a new editor.
The study of utilizing projects is funded by the university.
The summer course was cancelled due to insufficient enrollments.
The teaching staff are actively engaged in the original research.
The terms illness and disease are confusing, despite clear differences.
The theatre courses are encouraging students to exercise creativity.
The university has invested in new technology designed for learning.
The university library holds a number of collections of geological maps.
The university's main library will be open till midnight until next Monday.
The untapped potential for using the sun's rays is phenomenal.
There are a variety of disciplines in the field of engineering.
There is a pharmacy on campus near the bookstore.
There is a variety of different ways to present statistical information.
There is no economic recognition that borrowing is necessarily bad.
These words recognize the excellence of the undergraduate's research projects.
This book can be borrowed for a maximum of 1 week.
This course aims to develop your knowledge of statistics.
This course can help to deepen your appreciation of art.
The essay will argue that technology does more harm than good.
Those who are considering a career of marketing should attend the talk.
Undergraduates have a wide range of cultural modules to choose from.
Understanding visual media has never been more challenging. We are phasing out the disposable cups on campus.
We can all meet in the office after the lecture.
We help students to develop their individuals and follow their interests.
We hold visiting tours throughout the year for students.
You should submit your team papers to the general office. You will need to read Chapter 1 before the management class.
Your ideas are sophisticated in seminars and tutorials.
Your statistical information depends on your raw data.
Critical thinking is one part of a broad education.
The English and Journalism degree has certain placements in the third year.
At that time people moved from towns to villages.
All lectures and learning materials can be found on the Internet.
The history of economics is a tricky subject to study. It would be extremely beneficial to work together.
A good architectural structure should be usable, durable, and beautiful.
There will be a conference here next summer on using the web for academic research.
There are more opportunities to receive the grants in most artistic fields.
You need to hand in the essay next semester.
Students are required to have a biology degree to be enrolled in this course. As student union members, we can influence change in the university.
Doctoral writings have the structure in place as well as scientific papers.
Please click on the logo above to enter the site.
Practical experience is a vital part of legal training.
A bar chart can provide useful information for data comparison.
All industries consist of systems of inputs, processes, outputs and feedback. Recession triggers creativity and high rates of entrepreneurship due to past experience.
A new camera can identify your eyes and focus on them.
The faculty staff are very approachable, helpful and extremely friendly.
Organizational failure is considered from various perspectives of academic literature.
Manufacturing now brings more people in than agriculture and fishing combined.
There is a clear need for further research in this field.
She has made a significant contribution to the field of chemistry.
We have sufficient ways to study brain action.
Many birds migrated to the warmer area for winter.
The exam system has been upgraded due to professional exams.
Traveling by boat on the river is not possible in winter.
In addition to class requirements, students must pass qualifying examinations. The course will help students to improve their pronunciation skills. Although sustainable development is not easy, it is an unavoidable responsibility.
Cooperation between departments is a feature of successful companies.
Find out how to get your resources before your research.
The marketing budget is doubled since the beginning of the year.
Experts are able to forecast weather for a long period.
Scientists learn through observations and analysis of human behavior.
We can work together to achieve higher educational standards. The introduction is an important component of a good presentation.
The final year will consist of 4 taught courses and 1 project.
The technician left the new microscope in the biology lab. Submitting your group assignment must be issued punctually by one of your group members.
Americans have progressively defined the process of plant growth and reproductive development in quantitative terms.
The digital camera has some advantages over traditional film.
Philosophy uses logic and reasons to analyze human experience.
The project is divided into 4 main sections.
This course puts great emphasis on critical thinking skills.
Students would develop confidence in their ability to think critically.
Economic problems caused a big rise in unemployment.
Students will focus on reporting news on the changing media world.
Statistical results should be expressed in different ways depending on the circumstances.
This class will look at the structure of the essay.
The visiting speaker used to be a lecturer in this department.
All students are expected to attend 10 lab sessions per semester.
The designers will complete the plan later today.
Some departments have their own special book collections.
In his lifetime, he composed most of the works.
The other book is not thorough, but it's more insightful.
Students requiring an extension should apply sooner rather than later.
An architect requires problem-solving skills and an eye of design.
Humans use symbolic languages to communicate plans and contentions.
The lecture will take place in the main hall.
A wide range of aspects is covered in this subject.
She began by giving an outline of the previous lecture.
Scientists have found all parts of science.
The university will see colossal renovation to the faint, empty theatre.
He wrote poetry and plays as well as scientific papers.
A person's educational level is closely related to his economic background.
We are researching the most significant challenges we are facing today.
The university now faces a serious challenge in finance.
Despite their differences, all forms of life share the same characteristics.
Please confirm that you have received the textbook.
All dissertations must be accompanied with a submission form. All of the assignments must be submitted in person to the faculty office.
All the educational reforms have been inadequately implemented.
Consumer confidence has a direct influence on sales. Convincing evidence to support this theory is hard to obtain.
Economic streams of the early Roman Republic will be examined.
It is really a comprehensive program comprising both theory and practice.
Please note that submission deadlines are only negotiable in exceptional circumstances.
Students are advised to use multiple methods for this project.
Students must pass all the qualifying examinations.
Writing an essay is easy once the research is finished.
We were able to contact a number of research subjects.
When parents talk to children, the tense is simplified.
The bus to London will leave 10 minutes later than expected.
The deadline of the marketing assignment has been extended.
Graduates from this course generally find jobs in insurance industry.
A regional assembly was moved to the devolution of power.
A number of students have volunteer jobs.
Academic problems cause a rise in employment.
Affordable housing is an important issue for all members of society.
Agenda items should be submitted by the end of the day.
Conferences ought to be always scheduled 2 weeks in advance.
The study of anthropology can help us to learn society today.
I will come back to this in a moment.
The research has produced some other unexpected results.
If you are not sure, phone Student Services for help.
Let me give you an example to explain what I mean.
Neurons are principally involved in chemical processes.
Nurses specialize in clinical work and management.
Remember, the prestigious section has strict eligibility criteria. Most students need computers to do homework.
Students are instructed to hand in their assignments by the end of this week. Textile manufacturing plays a large role in improving economies.
The curriculum needed to be adjusted for development.
The essay will be published once the research is finished.
The eventual winners will be the graduates who adapt best.
The meeting has some struggling overlaps.
Scientists found most of the studies today.
The timetable for the new term will be available next week.
The toughest part of research for undergraduate education is funding.
Research is required in the field of food science.
This course is integrated because it has several parts.
This means we will have so many troubles on the LAM.
Understanding how to use the library will save your time.
We support the research on problems related to tropical cyclone dynamics and forecasting.
The gap between the rich and the poor does not decrease.
Students are encouraged to take part in their studies as well as games.
Strangely, people are impacted by spontaneously using statistics.
Tutors should set a clear goal at the start of the class.
All essays and seminar papers must be submitted to your tutor via email.
Globalization has been an overwhelming urbanization phenomenon.
Too much information may be avoided by good research design.
The garden behind the university is open to the public in summer.
The academic tradition of the school ensures excellence.
Leaving valuable possessions unattended in public places is risky.
The stock market redesigned the market throughout the world.
There are dedicated specialist librarians available all the time.
We can have a lecture on the morning of Thursday.
Scholarship applications must be handed in at the end of the month.
Eating fish twice a week is a recommendation for a healthy diet.
There are many different styles of business management.
The goal of the company is to get investment.
Psychologists say what we have experienced influences our behaviors.
Babies can distinguish between what is language and what is not.
The two sides have disagreed on how to solve the problem.
Field trips are essential parts of most geography courses.
Even simple practices need to be conducted perfectly. Sugar is a compound including carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms.
It helps you to rationally assess your arguments. A visit to a design museum is greatly valued.
The government is funding research studies on the consequences of unemployment.
Extracurricular activities can help students to develop more talents.
Art and design are competitive fields to work in.
The skills of great stage actors cannot be taught.
The disease that was serious has now been eradicated.
Providers of higher education treat plagiarism extremely seriously.
Urban planning emphasizes the efficiency and expansion of community. It is interesting to observe the development of language skills of toddlers.
Many university lectures can now be viewed on the Internet. The course will start with the history of architecture.
Technology has transformed the nature of society.
Lots of people turned out to be at the presidential address.
Experts say learning and listening to music can reduce the stress.
When sentencing, the court will depend on whether the criminal is guilty or not.
The British students need to study mathematics in secondary school.
The Internet has transformed the nature of publishing.
Many important policies need to be made.
Having strong motivation is vital for achieving your goal.
Thousands of people turned out ahead of the prestigious election.
For small businesses, making a profit is the main priority.
We are fixing up disposable cups on campus.
Businesses must adapt to the data protection regulations.
Please make sure your application follows the guidelines provided.
Students are permitted to park in campus parking spaces.
Online courses allow students to work at their own pace.
Companies' projects must adapt to the general data protection regulations.
Scientific experiments should be repeated in order to verify the results.
The falling birth rate means the number of students drops.
We are more able to accommodate postgraduate students than previously possible. Undergraduate students can select what interests them most in the scientific program.
We are continuing to provide postgraduate online learning resources.
Thousands of people turned out to be at the presidential address.
You can keep your bags in the back room.
Rising inflation may indicate the increasing demand for consumer products.
A teacher explains clear notes in the lecture.
Foods containing overabundant calories supply little or no nutritional value.
There were a lot of traffic jams this morning.
Science degrees are now offering different levels of specialization.
The results of this research presented a value of the balance of the ecosystem.
All students join art classes in the first term.
We encourage students to complete applications before the deadline.
The residence hall is closed prior to the academic building closing time at the end of the semester.
Optional tutorials are offered in the final week of a term.
The student union hosts a variety of social events.
Our faculty includes 5 libraries in the university.
Figures could be established through rigorous establishment.
Many different conferences offer opportunities for volunteer work. Archaeologists are astonished by unexpected previously overlooked foundations.